Hi, Kyle Anderson here, CEO of the Leadership Council Southwestern Illinois. I am joined today by Jim Maher of Archford, CEO and all around just great individual. We're here today to talk a little bit about Archford, what they do, how long you've been in business, and how you guys help not only the businesses that serve you, but the whole entire region. Jim, you want to take a little bit to introduce yourself?
Sure. First, welcome to our humble abode. Glad to have you and your team here today, Kyle.
Pleasure.
Archford started in March 28th, 2013. Made 85,000 twice in the last 7 years. So a couple things we're very excited about. And I mean, that's our team. But I think the biggest thing is that we've grown from 6 to about 60 people. And, the Leadership Council, I've been involved every step of the way. With them, the Leadership Council was very instrumental in helping us with, establishing our accounting firm and other things with the state. So I think, I'm glad to have you here today because it's such an important role that you guys fill in the community and the region. And glad to have you guys here so we can have a conversation.
Well, we appreciate everything you do for us and the guidance that you provide us. Every time I talk to you, Jim, I learn something. So I really appreciate that. And in addition, you also provide services to us. You do our accounting. So we truly appreciate it. So for businesses, especially new ones, what is one piece of advice that you would have or give to them as I'm going through this process of starting my business and trying to grow it?
I think too many people don't spend enough time to really figure out a problem that they can solve for someone else. And, I had, for 25 years, I had been in different professional services areas from legal to, Big Six accounting to broker dealers and all these different areas. And what I really realized over time was the problem was communication with professional advisors. And there really wasn't an answer for that. It was really siloed off with each organization. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can solve that problem. I could bring this under one roof so that we could have better communication amongst all of these professional advisors for those families, and especially for closely held businesses. I just think it's difficult. Time is so important to everyone, and our ability to help these families recapture this time, but make better decisions from a tax planning standpoint, and estate planning standpoint, in for their families. So it was that ability to identify a problem that's, it may be your problem, because I recognize it was a problem for my own family.
Yeah.
And then, but as I looked at all the people that I worked with, I'm like, man, their lives could be better. And so that was really the catalyst behind Archford, and it's been the catalyst behind our growth because it's an easy button.
Well, one of the first experiences I had with Archford was a seminar you hosted over at the Renaissance, and my dad had recently just kind of closed up shop of a family-owned roofing business he had for 40 years. None of the kids wanted to take it over, but my stomach hurt after attending that because I knew that there was so much more that we could have done to maximize the value of the business that he built for 40 years that we didn't do. But then I was learning it 2 weeks later. I'm like, it hurt. But speaking of businesses we have here, we have a lot of you don't know what you don't know, and so we have a lot of hidden gems. What's one business that you think is kind of a hidden gem in Southwestern Illinois?
It's an interesting question because two things immediately come to my mind, but one is logistics. I mean, our ability with all of the major interstates coming through St. Louis, the railroad being the northernmost point on the Mississippi, this is our ability to exploit that for not only for the region, but for the country. I think is critically important in how we invest in and continue to develop this infrastructure. The other thing is education. I think from our high schools to our community colleges to our four-year universities and that. We are rich with educational resources, and we need that. We need this adaptivity to what tomorrow's workforce is going to need to be. And so those are a couple of things that really excite me about having our business here, and the people that we've been able to get from SIUE, McKendree, different schools, people that have had additional classes with Southwestern Illinois College on QuickBooks Pro and different things like that. I mean, it's amazing, these resources. So
you mentioned earlier silos, and kind of how we shouldn't operate in silos. And it's not good. What benefits or why should people get involved in the overall business community? They might feel I'm chugging along and doing my business. What value or why should businesses become part of any overall business community or effort?
Yeah, it's funny. Our second core value at Archford is become more. Our first core value is help others. I mean, simple, 4 words, but very important. That becoming more. If you isolate yourself, you're not going to grow. And I think the other thing with the Leadership Council is that there's a lot of us that we're not Fortune 500 companies, but when we get together, if we were trying to do things just with our own voice, we're not going to be heard in this region. But when we come in with the Leadership Council and we're able to work together with this organization and with other people involved in the organization, it gives us a voice to be heard. And I think that SIUE did a study back in 2022 with employers from 10 to 300 employees. Those organizations account for 50% of the workforce in the region. And so those companies being successful, it's vital for all of us to understand that. I mean, they're paying a good portion of the taxes. Their employees are paying a good portion of the real estate taxes. All of this carries by the success to those small and mid-sized companies. And what I like about the Leadership Council is it definitely gives us a place that we can plug into with other companies like that and help the region.
As you know, one of our big efforts is business retention, expansion, and succession, and that's exactly what it is. So we can't come together as a business community if we don't know your issue. And being a part of that community amplifies, like you said, the issue that you're experiencing that other companies might not be at that certain time. So, well, this is our first Field Trip Friday. We appreciate you hosting.
Glad to have you here.
Jim, it's a great event, great organization, a lot of great people here, and just truly appreciate everything you're doing for us and for the entire region.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Scott.